Okay, hi ladies. All right, so I'm really late doing this, and my family, some of them are already here for the birthday party. I did the meat last night, and my son forgot that I had asked him, so I had to go to the store, or to put it up, so it sat out all night. So I had to go to the store, buy more meat, cook it, and then I'm waiting for it to cool off enough to put in the bags. Okay, so this week we have the extra dog is here, and my grandson is here, so just have to excuse some of the background noise. This week we had, was it the balsamic pork roast? Oh my goodness, what was it? It was another chicken, the chicken fajitas, and firecracker chicken, I think is what we had this week. For the firecracker chicken, it was perfect. I served it over my brown rice ramen. Come here, say hi.
No.
You don't want to say hi? Okay. And then the balsamic pork roast was excellent. We loved it. And the chicken fajitas, no, Record, do not touch that. One time I was doing live when he was probably 2 or 3, and he tried to take off with the stand. Okay, so anyway, they all turned out great. The chicken fajitas for me were good, but not great, just because, again, I'm not a huge bell pepper fan, but I took them to my youth, and they were a hit. Okay, so this week we're doing pot pie chicken pot pie soup, and then lasagna soup. This one, the lasagna soup, is not exactly as dumpling goes everything else because I pre-cooked my meat twice. So I've got the chicken here. I'm not going to add the broth or the cream until I put it in my crock pot. And then my shortcut this week, I'm not doing onion and celery and browning it. I'm just using the seasoning blend. I use a seasoning blend in the meat with the lasagna soup, and I've got the seasoning blend for the chicken pot pie soup. I'll go ahead and do that. I've got it in my hand. Because the recipe calls for like an onion and some onions and celery. So I'm just using this. It's not exactly what the recipe called for. And I'm not adding the canned vegetables either. I will add those the day of because I will want to cut my green beans into smaller pieces. All right, so I just got too much stuff. This week I'm going to be cooking the ribs, the chicken spaghetti, and the verde chicken, so that I will have made almost every single thing, and which is my goal. My goal is to be able to tell you how they turn out after I freeze them, thaw them, and then cook them in the crock pot. And so far, the only one that was not as good fresh would be the Greek chicken. That is because I just found that the black olives for me, which is one of my favorite parts, it just really seemed like some of the flavor that I like was kind of cooked out. So if I did it again, I would just save the black olives for the day of. And I probably would just add them right before serving. So 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic. I'm going to move my list. Okay. 1 teaspoon of parsley in each one. That's probably more than a teaspoon. Rosemary, thyme, and poultry seasoning are all 1/2 teaspoon. Thyme. I have onion powder. Poultry seasoning. So, sorry. On the front of the bag, I have how long to cook it, and I'll tell you what it says. And then add the broth and the canned vegetables. Again, you can go ahead and add your vegetables. I just want to, I'm just going to add them the day I cook it. I want to cut up the green beans just because I don't want a big old piece of a green bean in my soup like that. Okay. So this is what's going to go in the crock pot like. You obviously can add your broth and your canned vegetables. So the only thing that you'll have to add day of would be the heavy cream. And again, my personal preference, I do not like dishes but the heavy cream has cooked all day long. Okay, it says chicken pot pie soup 823. Add 3.5 cups of chicken broth, cans of peas, carrots, and green beans. Cook on low 5 to 7 hours or high 3 to 4, and add 1 cup of heavy cream. And then we can always add xanthan gum if it's not thick enough. And again, the amount of time depends on the size of your meat. If you have chicken tenderloins or your chicken breast, because I've seen some that were really, really big, you would probably want to reduce your cooking time. So I'm going to move these out of the way, and then we'll do the lasagna soup. And I don't have room because I've got Mexican stuff over there for today's lunch. And I can't just grab these by the handle because I don't remember which one. I have 2 where the green parts just come out. He doesn't have to go outside. It's okay. Oh, okay. Okay, now it's the lasagna soup. And again, I'm too scared of losing. Okay, so what I did, I'm not even on there, is I ground up 2 pounds of hamburger meat and then 2 pounds of Italian sausage. I added the seasoning blend and the garlic to it. The meat has finally cooled down enough because if you're just watching, my son forgot that I had asked him to put the meat up and it sat out all night, so I had to go back to the store to buy it to rebrown it. Okay, this one's going to be super simple. Did I not get the Italian? Sorry. Okay, here's the Italian. So each one is going to get some Italian seasoning. And of course, everything, taste it, adjust it when you get there. Do more salt, seasoning, pepper, whatever. All right. Jasmine, will you please do me a huge favor? I'll do it. I'll get off there. Okay. I've got the tomato paste. So each recipe calls for a half a can of tomato paste. But first we'll do Italian stewed tomatoes and tomato sauce. Italian stewed tomatoes and tomato sauce. And I don't know if I will eat these in a week or 2. Texas is still, I mean, we've got a cold front coming. We're going to be like 95. But that's still too hot for me to eat soup. Okay. Now the tomato paste. I'm going to put a half a can in each bag. And this also does call for beef broth. It also calls for noodles. I still use Dreamfields. And you can add it straight to your soup if you want. Sometimes when I add it straight to the soup, it seems to just disintegrate. So another option is to, cook it separate and then just add some of the pasta to each bowl. And of course, you can leave the pasta out or use whatever pasta you feel comfortable with eating. I know there was just a post like today where someone was saying Dreamfields is no longer on plan. That is not true. At least, no, an admin chimed in, so it's not true. But it may have ingredients you don't like. So you use whatever you feel comfortable eating, or just leave it out altogether. Whatever works for you. But my family is pretty picky, but I can get them to eat the Dreamfield, so I count that as a win. And this is it. So I'll tell you what this says. Now, every recipe pretty much can be cooked in a pressure cooker. You'll just need to adjust and make sure you add the liquids that your pressure cooker calls for. I don't think they all call for the same measurement or amount. I got tomato paste. Okay, so this one says, again, you could add the broth, but right now I have 18 recipes in the freezer. Well, 18 times 4. So I'm running out of room. So I can't just keep adding like all the liquids to everything. So I have add 16 ounces of beef broth, cook on low 6 hours or high 3 hours. Add pasta, add ricotta cheese, Parmesan, and basil. So what I'll do is just cook it in the crock pot for however long I need. I'll most likely cook the noodles separate. Tip, if you can't find Dreamfields and you really like Dreamfields, because I'm hearing that you can't find them, place a Walmart order and you can get it. So I couldn't find it anywhere near me, like right when the pandemic opened. Everything didn't open back up at the same time. When Texas was kind of opening back up and we were going back to stores, I couldn't find it. So I did an I did a Walmart.com order, and it was really odd. I had some shipped to my house. I had to go pick up some, which I don't understand, at another Walmart that was near me, but I still got it for the Walmart price. Because Amazon, the last time I ordered something from Amazon, it was ridiculous. It was too much money. I will rather do the Walmart order. Okay, so you definitely could add the broth. It's just going to make it, a thicker, have more volume in your bag when you freeze it. So for me, I need to, again, I'm running out of room, so I need to limit what I put in there. So I know that I just need to add broth. And sometimes I just get the Better Than Bouillon. I don't know if it's got great ingredients or not. But sometimes that's what I will use for my broth, so I don't have to worry about making sure I have broth. And then to each bowl, I will put some of the pasta, add the soup, stir it up, and I'll add a dollop of ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, and the basil ribbons are obviously optional. They do taste good and they make it look pretty, but that is definitely optional. But that's it. I hope you're having a good Sunday. I'm going to go so my grandson can come back in and we can start having our Mexican fiesta for my daughter's birthday. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions or thoughts, just let me know.